Hello, everyone, and welcome to This Week in Geek episode 47. It has been a while since we did one of these shows. Actually, it's only been 2 weeks. For those who don't know, my name is Ren. I usually am accompanied by my good friend and co host, Zach Pope. And today I was supposed to have a co host here. I don't know what's happening. That person has the link. They shall join me ASAP, I trust. But in the meantime, we'll just do the show as we're supposed to. And however you're finding us, if you're watching us live right now on YouTube, thank you very much. If you're catching us on repeat on Spotify, whether you're jogging, whether you're on a commute, whether you are crushing some weight at the gym, thank you so much for finding us. Remember to rate us because it really helps the show and lets us know what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong. All right. And in case you don't know how this show works, there are three segments. The first one is our weekly ranking, where we go through everything that we watched this past week. We rank it from worst to best, or in this case, I rank it from worst to best. And after that, we highlight some of your weekly rankings on the live chat right here. After that is when we dive into our main topics. That's the topic you see on the title. That's the topic you see on the thumbnail. That's the topic of discussion for every show we make. And after that, the most funnest part of the show is your live questions. There are three ways of getting live questions in to guarantee we answer your question, of course, and it's also a way where you can actively support the channel is by going through the tip link in the description or using the super chat feature. We will always answer your questions on those features. Or if you want to take a chance and your question might not get answered, you can leave them in the community tab. We'll do our best to get to them, but of course, because of time constraints in the show, we might not get to it. So without any further ado, let's get into our weekly rankings. And honestly, I don't have that much to rank. Obviously, last weekend we did not have a show, but I was busy with other things. I was over at Star Wars Celebration, so I did not have time to watch too much. I did, however, go and see a movie right after the first day because there was a cinema nearby Star Wars Celebration. So, and now there's another movie I can talk about. Last time we did a show, it was under an embargo. So, in last place, I am going to have The Pope's Exorcist. For some reason, this film came out last week here in the UK. It's coming out this week over in the United States. And finding that out, I thought, oh, I'm probably going to review it then. I did not have time, unfortunately. But Pope's Exorcist is a fun enough movie. It is very familiar to the point where, like, the script doesn't try to do anything new, even though by default, any exorcism movie that comes out is fighting an uphill battle. The greatest exorcism movie has already been made. It was the first one, it was The Exorcist. But you do have Julius Avery's creative direction. You have his style. You have these unorthodox, uncomfortable camera movements and shots. And I mean unorthodox and uncomfortable in the best way possible because this is a horror film. And Russell Crowe is fully committed. This is a really fun, intriguing character that you want to follow in a journey. And so it's all right. It's good. It's fun enough. I would recommend you go see it, even if just to be part of the conversation, even if just to see it once. I don't necessarily recommend go right now to the cinema. You need to see this on a big screen. Nothing like that, but I think it's a fun film. Just doesn't do too much with it, with what it has to work with, apart from Russell Crowe. On top of that, I'm going to have the Super Mario Brothers movie. This is a very imperfect film. It's very flawed. It's got a ton of the classic grating illumination tropes that we love. No, not that we love. That's precisely the issue. We don't love it. The most grating illumination issues that we really do not like, and they seep into the surface throughout this film. But as a whole, I'm going to say what I said in my review, which is right now up on the channel if you want to go check it out. If you were ever going to bring the Super Mario IP to a film, this is the way to do it. Aesthetically, sound-wise, the colors, the characters, it all looks fantastic. So very imperfect, but there is a good enough fun time. There is charm in here, and the charisma of these characters and of the people playing them, who I thought all did a really solid job, really shines through. On top of that, I am going to have Evil Dead Rise. If you have followed this channel for a while, you will know I am not a hardcore Evil Dead fan. I wouldn't even count myself a fan of the overall franchise. I do not like the 2013 remake, and I think the original Sam Raimi one is all right. It's fun. I would put it around the same level as the Super Mario Brothers movie. This is my kind of effed up horror movie. This is my kind of hardcore, gnarly, nasty horror that I love to watch. It is not entry level horror. So if you are someone who is not into horror films, this is not for you. It 100% is not for you in any way. I, however, had a ton of fun with this film, and it's right now at least one of my favorite films of the year, and it has the hardest title card of the year, my friends. And on top of that, something I watched on the big screen, a Star Wars Celebration, and then I rewatched on Wednesday when it came out, Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 7. Like a lot of people, I am someone who thinks this season so far has been rocky, inconsistent in terms of quality, and I will have a review for the entire season when the finale comes out. This episode is perhaps the greatest episode of The Mandalorian. This episode is the same level of quality in writing, in cinematography, in visuals, in pulling together story threads that Season 2 was. Season 2 is peak Mandalorian. It is high up there with just Star Wars storytelling in general. This episode did it all. And we are going to dive into spoilers about this episode in our main topic discussion. So if you haven't seen it, this is your warning. I'm not going to spoil anything right now, but we are going to dive fully into it in our main topic discussion in a bit. This is the episode to get things back. And it's a shame that it finds itself in such an inconsistent season, because if episode 8 is as good, if not better than this episode, they nailed it. They delivered an overall good season. But The Mandalorian Season 1 and 2 were great seasons. Issues here and there, but this season had really grating inconsistencies, had really glaring flaws that you're scratching your head. Are these the same writers that brought us Mando 1, Mando 2, that are bringing us Ahsoka? Definitely the same writers that brought us Book of Boba Fett. So yeah, but I think this episode is so strong. I love that we're finally back on track, and we're going to discuss it further in a bit. But before that, we're going to dive into your weekly rankings, and we're starting with Nemenisi and Scott. And let me just, there we go. Number 6, Gotham Knights. Number 5, The Flash. Number 4, Superman and Lois. Number 3, Megan. Number 2, Shazam Fury of the Gods. And number 1, Scream 6. I would put Megan above Shazam Fury of the Gods, and most of the other ones I can't remember if the last episode of The Flash is episode 7. I'm not caught up on Superman and Lois, and I have wasted none of my time watching Gotham Knights. I will just say that. Jack Alexander. Number 7, Shazam 2. Number 6, Mando Season 3, Episode 6. Haven't seen 7 yet. Number 5, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Number 4, Tad Lasso. Number 3, Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Among Thieves. And number 2, John Wick Chapter 4. And number 1, Ben-Hur. I would put John Wick 4 at number 1 personally. However, you have Ben-Hur at number 1. I will have no arguments towards you, my friend. Ben-Hur is an absolute classic for a reason. If you've never seen Ben-Hur, by the way, watch fucking Ben-Hur, the original. Do not watch the 2016 remake that has, and I kid you not, a pop song at the end of the film as they're riding into the sunset, completely destroying the character arcs in that film. Ben-Hur 2016 sucks. Do not watch that film. By the way, our co-host is here. I can bring that person in. 3, 2, 1. You probably saw the description, so you know who it is. I don't know why I'm making a big deal. Here he is, Patrick Burrow, all the way from down in the future, because it's Sunday evening. No, it's Saturday evening.
Not yet. It's Saturday 11:15 p.m. Almost.
Woohoo.
Almost.
We're going to travel into the next day before the show is done. How are you today?
I am very tired. I went to bed with the intention of waking up at 11 to have like an hour to get ready, because normally it's 12 a.m. my time that you
I know,
start,
because of Zach. I forgot to tell you that the times would shift. Because Zach can't be here.
No, that's all right. I ended up just waking up and I saw the message from you and I'm like, oh fuck. Like, I was late. And
I am so sorry.
No, that's all right, man. That's all right. Gave me a little bit of an energy boost to get ready.
So I was just reading everyone's weekly rankings in the live chat. Do you have anything that you watched this week that you want to shout out? Have you gotten Evil Dead, by the way? Because I know you're a big fan.
Monday, I see it. I see it Monday.
Okay.
I've got my premiere screening Monday. Then it comes out Thursday for us.
Nice. I think we also get it next Friday too. Yeah, I don't remember when it actually comes out. My review is done, so I don't think about that movie anymore. But I like it. I'm not saying I don't want to think about it. I'm just saying when that's done, I focus on the future.
Yep. You focus on the possibility of the Harry Potter reboot series, because that's a great idea.
Yeah. True. We got a question about that, by the way. I seen like the questions that we have coming up, and yeah.
Yeah. Did you want me to do my weekly ranking or anything?
If you have anything, if you don't want to like search for everything that you watch, like just shout out something, because you've probably seen the Demon Slayer season 3 premiere. I'm not caught up yet. This is me assuming, by the way. But yeah, if you want to shout that out, please do while we're still on that section.
I've watched a couple things this week, not overly too much. Because until the other day, I was focusing on playing just Resident Evil 4 remake over and over again to get my platinum trophy for the Critics Play Games video, which I did that the worst way I possibly could. But I don't really have them ranked, but there are a few things I can shout out. The Eminence in Shadow is a fine anime. I think the only thing I don't like about it is the main character. Imagine Deadpool, that's self-aware. He got isekai'd into another world and is like the most powerful character in the entire world. But at the same time, he's so self-aware that he wants to be a secondary character and always does secondary character things compared to the actual secondary characters that in his story, quote unquote, are the main characters. They go about it the wrong way, because a character like this can work, but it is very annoying because it's very repetitive and he just repeats that sort of thing. Like, this is a very secondary character thing to do. He repeats that over and over again. But animation, story, world, action, all phenomenal. Like, some of the best I've ever seen. There's one fight about halfway through this season. It's literally like a 20-second fight, but it is one of the coolest looking fights I've ever seen in anime.
All right. Speaking of anime, I forgot to rank Suzume, but I won't rank Suzume. I saw it last night because I want to actually review it. I want to review Makoto Shinkai's latest film. I will just say, Patrick, have you seen it, by the way?
I have.
Okay. So in the last 10 minutes that I didn't know at the time it was the last 10 minutes, but I'm like, I'm going to get off this movie without shedding a tear. And then something happens and I'm like, God damn it. Okay, fine. You got me again, you son of a bitch, Shinkai.
Except Makoto Shinkai this time literally waited until the last moment rather than about 30 minutes before the ending.
It's just the interaction between two characters, and there's one specific character who sees another specific character, and I don't know how I didn't see it coming, but I love when movies can do that and not let me see something coming, and I'm like, oh shit, he's gonna go for that. And yeah, just if you have not seen Suzume, book your tickets now. It's not as good as Your Name, but it is close. It is better than Weathering with You for me.
Yeah, I was about to say,
like
if I
very
was to
secure on that.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. Like, it's very close to beating Your Name, but it's not quite. I think what Your Name has, like, don't get me wrong, the song from, Suzume is beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
But I think they overplayed it on the internet until the release. And not only that, that song in what is it, Your Name, when she's trying to get everyone out of the town, that just starts playing that main thing for Your Name. I don't even need to see visuals. The moment I hear that song, it's just
I'm feeling goosebumps right now. Look at that.
Yeah,
I'm feeling goosebumps.
It's just
right
ugly
now.
eyes. It's just ugly crying eyes.
But saying that's no shame on Suzume. Your Name is legitimately one of the greatest films ever made. I would probably have it in my top 100 if I thought about my top 100 of all time, like easily. So that's no shame on Suzume. I love this character. I love this movie. I think this is actually one of those characters that's amazing that kids get to grow up with her as a role model. Because there's so much about her as a heroine. And yeah, I'll talk about that on my proper review. I don't want to spoil too much because I'll have so much to say. Yeah.
I rewatched it this week as well. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but Josie the Tiger and the Fish.
No, I have it. I own it, but I have not caught it. That's like from 2-3 years ago. That's not too
2 years ago.
Too old per se. Yeah.
No, it's not.
I need to catch it.
Do yourself a favor and watch it. It's on Crunchyroll now. Okay. It is just as good as Your Name. It is just as good as Your Name.
I have a free account on Crunchyroll, so I might just do that. I will tell Patrick how I have a free account afterwards when the show is over.
I have the same thing for Disney Plus. I haven't paid a cent to Disney Plus in over 4 years.
I also haven't paid for Disney Plus, but there's another reason for that. Yeah. All right. So Jack Alexander's is done. Geek or EP. Weekly rank number 6, Super Mario Brothers movie. Number 5, Lake Placid. I like that movie. Number 4, the Super. Oh, okay. I didn't see the years thing, so I'm like, okay, 993, and then number 4, 2023. Number 3, Ted Lasso. Number 2, Shrinking. Are you watching Shrinking, Patrick?
No. I am. I'm watching
so
Demon Slayer.
Fair. Watch Shrinking. It's so fucking good.
It looks good.
Harrison Ford is giving one hell of a performance, and it also looks like he's having fun, which is a feat in and of itself. Like, I don't know of any time that man had fun. He's given many great performances, but I don't know I've ever seen him having fun. He's having fun in this role.
He had fun with Indy,
and number 1, well, but he was much younger back then, right? I'm saying like this Harrison Ford. Like, I don't know that I see this Harrison Ford have fun. And number 1, Beef. I am yet to start this show, but I am going to start it probably tomorrow, because tomorrow I am rewatching A New Hope. Next weekend, I'm rewatching Empire Strikes Back. And the weekend after that, I have my tickets booked to watch Return of the Jedi on the big screen. And I am so excited because I've never had that opportunity. So I cannot wait to watch this show. I'm probably like tomorrow watching A New Hope. And then, let me get in a couple of episodes of Beef before the weekend is over. Even though I have a free day on Monday, an off day on Monday. All right. I know we have like 2 very small ones left. And Nathan Madigan, weekly ranking number 3, The New World. Is that Colin Farrell Pocahontas movie? Because if so, that is an underrated movie. Number 2, Young Mr. Lincoln, I'm not familiar with. And number 1, On the Waterfront, classic Marlon Brando. There's actually a play right now here in London with Paul Mescal playing the title role. and I'd be curious to watch it. The movie is excellent, though. Glad you got to watch that. I don't know if it was your first time, Nathan, but that is definitely a number one on any week. All right, and then Luis Feliciano doesn't really have a ranking because he only watched Friends season 1, and that's a good season of television. So thank you so much for sharing. All right, and now as we dive into our main topic, remember to continue the conversation, continue the discussion, the debate on the live chat. Patrick, are you caught up on The Mandalorian?
I didn't continue after 2 episodes.
Oh, man. I'm
I've
not
been
going to say
browsing.
how dare you, because this season has, but it's a shame because they finally got back on track.
Oh, did they finally?
Yeah, I know. I fully said it. Love season 1. Adore season 2.
Season 2 is amazing.
Moments. Season 3 has these moments, but then also some story decisions that I'm like, these were the same writers. And these are the same writers that have now done episode 7. And episode 7 might be the best episode of the entire series. It's
really
fantastic. It's wonderful. I saw it at Star Wars Celebration. I saw it once again when it dropped on Disney Plus. I'm like, no, still fantastic. Still just as good. Yeah, from the comedy to the drama, pulling the story threads, the intrigue, the mystery of it all, how it all comes together. It's focused. It's concise. It is one of the longest episodes, thankfully. Can you imagine if this quality of episode was only 25 minutes? But it feels tight. Like it's not dragging. It's not doing too much. It's just boom, 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 boom. It goes from strength to strength in this episode, which just makes the entire season up till now very frustrating, despite me liking most of the episodes. But I have not loved any episode. I've loved moments in episodes, but Mandalorian right now, and I'm coming off of the Star Wars hype. Last weekend, I was living, breathing, eating, drinking Star Wars. It was flowing through my bloodstream. But Mandalorian is very shoddy this season. I would still say it's a fun time of television. Every week I went back and I like spending time with these characters. I like being on these adventures, but the adventures themselves, I don't know, man. It just feels, again, I don't want to dive too much because I'm going to have a review for the season itself, but you only watched 2 episodes. Talk to us.
Yep.
Why those 2 episodes made you drop going back to it in weeks following.
I had the complete opposite effect with Mando season 3 to what I had with Boba Fett. Boba Fett, I was completely on board for the first maybe 4 or 5 episodes. But the moment that it went off track and introduced Din Djarin as the Mandalorian again in the season, and it started playing it as like a season 2.5 of Mandalorian as opposed to a show about Boba Fett, and then Mandalorian, Din Djarin became the main character for like a solid episode and a half to 2 episodes. That's when that show lost focus. And the second half of the season, I really enjoy the first half of Book of Boba Fett. I'm going to be honest. I really do. Mandalorian season 3, however, I've heard how it gets better in episode 7. But episode 1 and 2 in particular, and I think I watched like maybe 5-10 minutes of episode 3. It seems very unfocused compared to the first 2 seasons of Mandalorian. And even though I will say the first half of Book of Boba Fett, they always felt like they had a focus. And I noticed a formula with the first 2 seasons in particular of main event, filler, or setup. And it was every second episode, it was like a main event episode. So like episode 1, 3, 5, 7, etc. Then episode 2, 4, 6, it had a formula as to which episodes would be main event and major story drive. And then the other ones were just fun, relaxing, getting you to mellow out before, the storm comes in the next episode. Just so that we as the audience can breathe a little while also providing great writing, great characterization, great dynamics and relationships. This was something between both seasons. Something I noticed off the bat, however, is Mando season 3 didn't even know where it wanted to go, it seemed. Like, we had Grogu and Din Djarin's arc. we completely dropped everything with Bo-Katan and Mando towards the later end of season 2 anyway, for it to then be picked up again at some point or whatever in the Book of Boba Fett, I guess. But the fact of the matter is that the writing felt lackluster. The dynamics between characters felt very formulaic as opposed to real and genuine in episodes 1 and 2 as well. Like, I didn't feel like I was watching people. I felt like I was watching someone reading a script. And even for Grogu and Din Djarin, which was a major selling point and a major driving force of the first 2 seasons, for me at least, that arc finished an entire 2-3 years ago. So therefore, the continuation of that arc feels a little pointless. And I don't know what's happened since the first 5-10 minutes of episode 3. I never finished episode 3. But from what I have heard, at least, it hasn't gotten better until episode 7. And if it takes you 7 episodes to get your footing, I'm sitting here and I'm like, yeah, I'm done. I'm not particularly interested. I will just binge it when it's done, just so I don't have to be disappointed week to week.
No, that's fair, because particularly episode 3 feels very much like how I felt with what you talked about episode 5. Yeah, because it was 7 episodes for some reason in the Book of Boba Fett. Episode 5 and 6. Awesome episodes of television. I love everything that these 2 episodes are doing. But this is a Book of Boba Fett show.
Yep.
So I don't know why I'm watching Din getting back to Grogu, which is the thing that was always going to happen. I want to see actually Grogu get that development where he gets agency. He gets to decide. He doesn't want to be all that. It's in the wrong show. In isolation, awesome. But Bryce Dallas Howard crushed those 2 episodes. No, she didn't direct the second one. I don't remember who directed episode 6.
Was it? Who was it?
It might have been Dave Filoni. It might have been Dave Filoni who did 6.
That does check that.
But I'm almost sure. Yeah, it was Dave Filoni. That's honestly one of the
Yeah. There we go. I've got the episode list up now. Episode 6, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, and then Jon Favreau did episode 5. Oh wait, okay. Sorry. That's directed by Dave Filoni, and then episode 5 was directed by Bryce Dallas Howard with Robert Rodriguez doing episode 7.
Yeah. Well, it's noticeable. Like that episode, in terms of directing, that is one of the best things Dave Filoni ever directed in live action, at least. And the totem pole is not too wide, but you know what I mean. And Bryce Dallas Howard has been crushing it since Mandalorian season 1. Even in this season, her episode is episode 5. Her direction is wonderful. She is trying to mine gold out of a rotten fish, which is that script in episode 5. And certainly the last 10 minutes of that episode
I've seen
finally that's the shit. That's the shit
I've seen some shit in that one episode with Jack Black.
Yeah, I actually feel that this season, it has all these interesting story threads where the first episode of the season is like, okay, this is the goal of the season. Here are the story threads that we're going to mine throughout 8 episodes. And I really like episode 2. Episode 2 continues to introduce let's shift this perspective. Let's recontextualize this thing where Bo-Katan finds the mythosaur. And now, so it's real. So they can take back Mandalore. So they can bring all the Mandalorian people together. Mm-hmm. But with all these story threads that they set up, the good solid foundation that they lay out for the rest of the season, and then episode after episode after episode after episode, they find the less intriguing, the less character challenging, the less compelling ways of pulling these story threads together. Mm-hmm. And I don't understand that. Because it'd be one thing if someone else did that episode and then another group of writers, not directors, writers came in and yeah, we don't want to deal with that stuff. We want to do something else after all. Still
Yeah.
very inconsistent if you're just like judging a TV show, but these are the same writers. So I don't
Yeah.
understand the decision making behind that. Because then you come to episode 7 and oh no, you are interested in paying off what you set up in those first. You are interested in continuing the journey of these characters. You are interested in broadening the scope, expanding on the stakes, and bringing story threads together, tying them in interesting in ways that showcase real menace, present
Yep.
real stakes, and feel deeply personal for the characters that we're following. Oh, you are interested.
Yep.
So what happened till now? I'm going to repeat myself because you weren't here yet. Like, if next week they give us an episode of a season finale that is as good, if not better than this episode 7, I will still think personally this was an overall good season, but it's just
What a messy one.
going above that line. Yeah, because like we said, Patrick, season 1, season 2, awesome, week after week after week.
Mm-hmm.
And sure, season 1 had that episode in Tatooine with Fennec Shand. I'm like, yeah, Dave Filoni is off to a bad start directing live action.
But
the
what
season
episode
overall,
was that?
Where Mando goes to Tatooine, and the whole episode is just, this is Tatooine. Oh, he's going to the canteen. Oh, look, it's stormtroopers. And
is that the gunslinger episode?
I
episode
think so.
5?
Where episode 5, season 1.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's the one I'm thinking of.
It's the episode where he meets. It's the episode where he meets Fennec Shand for the first time, Ming-Na Wen, who presented the panel, moderated the panel at Star Wars Celebration, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, her first time moderating a panel, which was cool. So yeah, I feel like this season of The Mandalorian was very shoddy. I don't know if they were rushing through it. Look, we know Jon Favreau said season 4 is already written, which cool. That means we don't have to wait too long, hopefully, for season 4. And hopefully it also means we're talking full spoilers if you want. Just feel free to spoil episode 7. Not episode 8 if you've somehow seen it, but do feel free to
I honestly couldn't care less about spoilers for the show right now. I've sort of
I can. I don't want to see spoilers, okay?
Oh no, I'm talking about episode 7. Sorry, I'm talking about episode 7.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, I personally don't care anymore. I'm just sitting here and I'm like, look, I want the show to be
I'm going
good
to face things that are going to at least leave you curious.
Yeah, I've heard some things. I've heard about the sort of battle that happens and all that sort of stuff. I've seen some screenshots that are showing.
It's not a battle; it's a trap. And Moff Gideon with a full-on Mandalorian suit that pays visual homage to a certain other character that has been involved with the Mandalorians, particularly in Clone Wars, that led the siege of Mandalore. Character that dons red and black colors with horns, yellow eyes, all that.
Darth Maul.
So yeah, that was I loved seeing that. And yeah, this entire episode to me, man, that's Mandalorian. It'd be something I'd be curious to hear from someone who's like loved the season so far. Just to see what their point of view is on this. But to me, even as someone who thinks this season, man, it's not Book of Boba Fett bad for me. It's not Bad Batch season 1 bad for me. But honestly, it is not much better than Bad Batch season 2, which I finished this week, by the way. But I just hope they nail the landing. I hope the trajectory of the quality right now keeps doing this and doesn't suddenly do this. Because that's going to be a real shame if it happens. I'm going to be very, very disappointed, and I'm going to be very worried for season 4 of The Mandalorian. I don't know if that's supposedly going to be the final season, and then we have the movie, because I don't know, because they want to bring this, Ahsoka, and that's it. Yeah, no more. The Filoni Mandoverse together. Crossing fingers, man. Crossing fingers, because knowing that season 4 is already written, maybe you should have taking another crack at season 3 before getting on to season 4. But hey, if season 4 is already done, take another crack at it just in case, just to be safe.
Yep.
You still nailed 2 out of 3. So, congrats. But I hope better things await in Mandalorian season 4.
Yeah. Because those first couple episodes were not particularly impressive at all. And when I hear you say it is barely better than the Bad Batch season 2, I'm like, oof, I didn't even finish season 1, and I've heard season 2 is incredibly average as well.
Season 1 of the Bad Batch, I love the premiere. I went on to review it. I made a video about it because I wasn't excited for that. I was like, shit, that's really good. And then season 1 is I don't even know what season. It's a filler season. Like there's nothing going on that season.
Nothing happens.
This season,
nothing happens.
You have this season. To me, season 2 still felt like a chore. To me, Mandalorian doesn't feel like a chore, but also 16 episodes compared to 8 episodes. Bad Batch season 2. The worst episodes of that season are the episodes where they actually focus on the Bad Batch, because you got episodes with Crosshair. Yeah, no, I'm not joking. Episodes with Crosshair, like episode 1 and 2, I'm like, okay, that's all right. And then episode 3 happens, I'm like, more of this? This is fantastic. Where is this? And then you go to episode 4, it's absolute garbage. And then you go to episode 5, it's okay. And then I think it's episode 7 or 8. Oh, it's great again. Oh my God. Mind blown. And then trash. And then the final 2 episodes, like it's a back-to-back finale. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. All right. I wish I cared more about these characters, but
Yeah. That's always the thing. You always want to care about the characters more than you actually do half of the time, especially when shit hits the fan. I feel like that with a lot of movies and shows these days. It's not even funny. The only thing that's ever able to get a rile out of me to really give a shit about characters is anime, whether that's old or new, or a very select amount of shows like The Mandalorian season 1 and 2, for example. When they came out for the first time in a long time, I was like, holy fuck, I give a crap about these characters. I'll even admit, hell, the new Super Mario Brothers movie, very rare that I ever think that I give a shit about Mario. Like, by the end of it, with the final battle, I'm like, I want Mario to win. Like, I know a lot of people give a lot of crap towards a very bleak or very, shitty story that's not particularly great or anything. I'm like, but it's also the origin story for an Italian plumber who gets sucked into another world through a pipe to save a princess from a gigantic, 9-foot tall turtle. And it's the
turtle dragon thing. Yeah.
Like, the games aren't particularly deep either. And for them to do what they did with that movie, and me to give a crap about Mario in such a way when he's been beaten up and then he sees that ad on the TV and then he goes back and fights Bowser, I'm like, that's really awesome. It doesn't feel the need to give you all the information. It sort of has these little visual nods for you to be like, this is what Mario's thinking. This is what he's gone through. This is why he cares. And I actually think Mario does a great job with that. And I think that and the 2 Sonic movies succeed in very similar aspects. Because I'll even say the Sonic movie doesn't have a deep story. But for me to care about characters like that, I'd not really like that since season 1 and 2 of Mando. A few animes, like recently, the anime Orange, and I've been rewatching Your Lie in April, so I am ripping my heart out.
Orange is so good.
Orange is amazing, dude. I've been loving it. It really has been amazing.
It's depressing as shit, but it's so good.
When that twist was revealed at the very end of the first episode, and I'm sitting here going, what? What?
Yeah.
Like,
and that's just after one episode.
It sort of hits you like a brick to the head. It hits you like a brick to the head.
100%.
And then it keeps going. And when they're trying to change things, you're realizing.
Did you know there's a live action movie of it, and the stars are the guy who plays Alice in Alice in Borderland and the girl who plays Usagi in Alice in Borderland? I just found that really interesting.
It's fascinating. It's like What is it? The people who do the live stage play of the Attack on Titan
Yeah.
show, the live stage
Mhm.
play, they also were in the live action adaptation of the really, really funny but weird
Ah.
prison school anime.
Oh, yeah. Interesting. All right, everyone. That does it for our discussion on our main topic. Mandalorian good, Mandalorian bad. Can Mandalorian be great again? Let's hope and see what awaits us this week on the finale. Fingers crossed. And for season 4 as well. All
Yes.
right. With that out of the way, we're going to move on to your questions. Remember, there's 3 ways of leaving questions if you want to guarantee your questions are answered. Tip link in the description or super chat feature, because that way you actively support the channel while you ask great questions. If not, leave them in the community tab. There's a post right there saying to leave your questions, and we'll do our best to get to them within the next 50 minutes. I was going to say 50 seconds, but don't worry, we have 50 minutes. All right. We start off with Lady Aaron. What are your thoughts on some of the many movie trailers we got over the past few weeks? Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Barbie, and The Marvels. The Marvels is really good. It's not great, but it's just a teaser. But it gives you a little sense of the visual style, of the eccentricities of that film. I really love the banter, the camaraderie. It really feels like an ensemble piece on these 3 characters, and I cannot wait to see it because I'm really pulling for Nia DaCosta. I'm really pulling for all these characters that I've fallen in love with, and it looks really fun. It looks as if kind of, and it's going to seem strange, it looks as if kind of Loki, but upbeat, if that makes any sense. Because Loki can get real profound, existential, and you start to think about the questions it proposes, and you're like, fuck, everything is depressing. This looks kind of like that, like quirky in its in how it deals with its fantasy elements, but like upbeat, spunky kind of thing. Barbie, wonderful.
Yep.
Love this trailer. The jokes are so good. The aesthetics are wonderful. I cannot wait to see this movie. A straight white man, and I guarantee you I will be first in line. It's Warner Brothers, so I most likely will get an invite to a
So
press screening, but still, after
oh
seeing it
yeah.
once, I'll be first in line.
Just you just want to be there to watch Ryan Gosling and Henry Golding beach each other off.
Maybe I won't say no. And Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, I have not seen it. I refuse to watch it. I saw the teaser. That's enough for me.
So this is
Patrick,
what
did you
happens,
see
Ren.
any and all these trailers? I saw the beginning actually yesterday when I went to see Suzume. It started playing. It's just Miles going, "So are you a Dalmatian or a cow?" And he says, "I am the Spot." And that's it. And I put on my headphones. Let me know when the trailer's over. And I look down at my headphones, blast them on full volume. Let's go. And that's it. That's how I avoid trailers. What do you think of any and all these trailers if you've seen it?
Bobby looks incredible.
Who is the Spot?
No. I was gonna say, who were you seeing it with, or were you just saying that to a random guy, like turning? Oi,
No. I was seeing it with my best friend. Like she knows the drill.
Oh, okay.
Like if a trailer comes on that I don't want to see it, I'm like, see you in a bit.
Yeah, that's what I'm like too. Bobby looks incredible. I never in my life, because I grew up with 3, 4 younger sisters. I was always subjected to the really terrible animated Barbie films. And I never in my life thought I'd be so excited for a Barbie movie. But Greta Gerwig's Barbie, from the set pieces, the practicality, the colors, the tone, the visuals, the performances as well, everyone screams Barbie. Like, they all look like different versions of the ones that my sisters would buy at the store from like Kmart or Big W or Target. And just different versions, like the different set. Like, you've got your beach Ken, you got your Dr. Ken, you got your casual Ken. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, looks amazing. It looks like so much fun. The comedy, you can tell it's for a younger audience, but also an older audience at the same time, which I really appreciate. It looks great. When it comes to the Marvels, however, I'm not impressed. Like, I'm really happy to see Brie Larson, Emin Vellani, and Tiana Paris in this. They look great in their respective roles. Unfortunately, I'm not feeling the tone just yet. I'm not feeling it.
That's fair.
That's fine. I love that they haven't shown us much of the story. I am all for that. I am okay with that. Especially when I am someone who is basically just done with the MCU at this point, aside from a few select projects. The Marvels being one of them, because I really like Captain Marvel. I do. I want to see what Nia DaCosta brings with this. I want to see what the entire team has to bring to it. I'm not feeling the tone. I'm not feeling the camaraderie or the humor just yet. After everything that came out after Miss Marvel, however, I think it's a choice to show that character in the trailer. I think you know who I'm talking about, Ren.
At first, I was like, "What, Miss Marvel? What did she?" And then it clicked. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. What do you mean?
I think that's a choice on their part. I'm not going to get too much into that. I usually try to stay out of that. When it comes to, I will say, Emin Vellani, what she
I love her.
did in that one shot where her and Captain Marvel switched, and you've got what's the cat's name again?
Goose.
Yeah, when
in
Goose
the comics
has
it's Stewie.
Okay. All right. Didn't know that. I can just imagine it going, hey, Brian.
Hey. No. Chewie, as in Chewbacca.
Oh, I thought you said Stewie, as if it was the little shit bag from Family Guy.
Stewie, yeah.
Oh, I thought you'd just be walking around going, hey, Brian, just look away. I've got to let something else that might be a little gross.
Okay.
But as for like seeing her reaction to Goose the cat with the tentacles coming out and grabbing those bandits, whatever they are, she had the perfect fucking reaction. That didn't even seem like acting. That looked like how someone would react if someone saw that in real life. I think Emin Vellani is phenomenal as Miss Marvel, and I can't wait to see what she does. Spider-Verse looks incredible. It does. That trailer gave me chills. It really did. My favorite trailer of the week, however, is the new Resident Evil Death Island trailer. I just want to point that out. That looks amazing. That looks really good.
Makes sense.
It seems like the event that Resident Evil 6 should have been, with all the core members of the Spencer Mansion and the Raccoon City Raccoon City outbreak incident all coming into one event finally, because Jill and Leon and Claire have never Leon and Rebecca have never interacted in any of the games together.
Oh, okay.
Rebecca and Jill have, very briefly. As for Jill and Leon and Rebecca and Leon, they never have. But Chris, Leon, Rebecca, Claire, and Jill, they're all in this. This feels like the Avengers event of Resident Evil, which is what RE6 should have been in 2012, but they fucked that up royally. So, yeah, I'm hyped for the new Resi movie, animated, coming to Netflix July 7th, 2023.
Alrighty. Lady Aaron also asks, with Oppenheimer and Barbie releasing in theaters on the same day, do you think more people will be watching Barbie or Oppenheimer? And do you think that Oppenheimer will bomb hard to box office? No. Oppenheimer will not bomb. Here's the thing. These are two movies that can very well succeed despite releasing on the same weekend. They call for a very, very different kind of audience. The audience, like for Barbie, is not overall the same as Oppenheimer. So these are two movies that don't really cannibalize one another.
No.
I can very well see these two movies succeeding on the same weekend, and I see right now at least, I see them doing very, 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 very well. What do you think, Patrick?
I think the two movies that are releasing on the same day is actually a very smart choice, because they complement each other in both of them doing well. and they're from the same studio, aren't they? They're both Warner Brothers.
No. Because Christopher Nolan left Warner Brothers after the 2020
Right.
thing they did with their movies. So Oppenheimer is
What is
Universal.
Oppenheimer? Oh, okay, yeah. As to that, they very much so complement each other. In one is a biographical picture about Robert Oppenheimer, the man who created the first atomic bomb. And then you got one, which is a very colorful Barbie movie, just in live action. These are two movies that complement each other because, as you said, they have two very different audiences. So if one is interested in Barbie, they're probably not going to go see Oppenheimer. But if they're interested in Oppenheimer, they're probably not going to go see Barbie. Both of them coming out, they're very two different demographics that these two movies are going for. But at the same time, these are two movies that can cater to all moviegoers as well, in some way, shape, or form. If you don't want to see Oppenheimer, you're probably going to want to see Barbie, and the same and vice versa. Yep. And I think that is a great choice because I can see both of them doing very well. I think Barbie will be the one that performs a little better as it's probably the most accessible, especially to children. I don't see Oppenheimer.
Also, it's shorter, so it has more showtime.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas Oppenheimer is a much longer movie. What is it meant to be? 3.5 hours or something?
I think so. Let me check. Barbie runtime.
Oppenheimer is 3 hours. Whereas Barbie.
Oppenheimer is 3 hours. Barbie is 1 hour 59. At least right now.
Yep.
Like I haven't seen a reputable source reporting on Barbie's runtime. Just to be clear, Oppenheimer, we've seen that. We've seen those credible reports. Barbie, not so much. So yeah, just to let everyone know, I'm not claiming that's factual. Just the information we have right now.
Barbie's showing up
2 hours.
Barbie right now is showing up for me as an hour 40 minutes.
Oh, interesting. Where are you looking it up? Because I just put it on Google. Mine was just Google.
That's what I did. Mine was just Google.
Okay. Huh. Yeah, mine showed up 159.
And mine's showing up the same if I go into IMDb, 140.
Huh. All right. Guess we'll have to wait for some credible reports.
But we need to wait for credible, yeah, because it's still in post-production. They're not done.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Lydia and Ren, what are your top 10 movies of the 2010s decade? If you have a list, I don't. Again, rankings and that stuff, it's something you have to ask with time, and I have to properly look at everything and think it through. So that's not something I feel comfortable spouting out in the moment, because I wouldn't be giving you an honest answer, because then I'd remember, I forgot this movie and I forgot that. So yeah. Lady Aaron, how did you enjoy Star Wars Celebration? What was your favorite and least favorite announcement to come from the event? I very much enjoyed myself. I was very exhausted. I was very tired. I talked about what my most excited announcements were. I did 2 recap videos. I have 2 articles on Next Best Picture. Shout out to Matt for having me over representing the site. Really, really fun. I don't have a least favorite because I was not excited for anything. If anything, I guess Bad Batch season 3, but it's gonna be last season, so at least they're finishing it. I don't know that they're finishing strong, but they're finishing it. So that was the one I was not interested in. But there's not a not excited. So
mine was probably that Mando movie that I was least excited for. If I'm being honest, I'm just not interested in a movie.
That's fair. That's fair, man.
I think it is better as a TV show because something like The Mandalorian and Ahsoka just feels more expansive as a show, and it feels like it has more opportunities to go. Not necessarily bigger and better, but to go further into lore and horizons and storytelling, as opposed to the 2.5 hour to 3 hour limitation of a movie that Disney's probably going to give them. However, I am so excited for that Star Wars movie based 15 years after Rise with Daisy Ridley returning. I am very happy about that. the movie about the first ever Force user. Holy shit.
Dawn of the Jedi. Yeah.
Dawn of the
James
Jedi.
Mangold.
And then, yes, what a great choice. I hope it leads to a trilogy. I really do, of like Old Republic type Star Wars.
Yes.
I am really, really hopeful. And if that movie does well, they're probably going to. Like, if it performs well, which I see an Old Republic
I
movie
would be
performing
shocked.
really well.
I would be shocked if they don't.
But Star Wars Visions, man, Volume 2 looks amazing. I love the different animation studios that they brought on this time. How was it?
Yeah. I saw the Aardman episode, and it's like, there's no better description. It's Aardman doing Star Wars, and everything good that you can think about from that description, it's there. It's so wonderful. Cool. So wonderful, man.
Because I loved season 1. I did not dislike a single episode in season 1 of Visions. I loved everything.
Okay. I disliked 2 episodes in season 1.
Was one of them the twins?
No, I love the twins. The twins,
okay, because I've heard a lot of people shit on that.
No. Twins and La Pinocho are like the 2 best. I go back and forth on those 2.
Yeah, I completely agree.
I did not like Tatooine Rhapsody, and I did not like it's not Akari, but the last one. I don't remember the name.
Oh, that was
but the last one was
no, Akakiri.
Akakiri. I forgot one syllable, damn it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did not care for that. That and Tatooine Rhapsody were I will not go back to those.
Yeah. What are the studios even doing? Oh, Triggerfish
so you have
doing
Studio
the final
Mir.
episode.
Triggerfish, you have Studio Mir, who does Avatar, Last Airbender, and Legend of Korra.
Yep.
You have Punk Robot.
Cartoon Saloon.
You have Cartoon Saloon. 88 Pictures. You have a French studio. You have a studio from Chile, a studio from Spain. Like they went around the world for this one.
Whereas the recent
and all
one
of them
was
look
mainly
very interesting.
Yeah, because the last season was all Japanese studios, which by the way,
last week was all
the Elder.
Last season was on LMA.
Yeah, the what is it? The episode, the twins and the Elder are 2 of my favorite episodes because Studio Trigger did a phenomenal job animating those episodes. The other,
I love Trigger.
And then you've got the duel from what is the studio called? Kamikaze Doga. Like, holy crap, the duel was a phenomenal first episode with the very light pencil stroke animation style. It was gorgeous, and I can't wait for season 2. Good. Yeah, man.
Lady Erin, what are your thoughts on the song "Peaches" from Mario movie being eligible to be nominated for Best Original Song? No thoughts. I think it's a really fun song. Like, it's become a joke. Like, me and my friends just randomly start saying "Peaches, Peaches, 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 Peaches," and everyone knows the reference. Do I like right now? Yeah, sure. It's the best song from a movie this year so far. Will it be by the end of the year? I don't know. But I'd love it to be nominated, even if just to get Jack Black on stage in his Bowser onesie in a piano, going full Tenacious D with his friend, who I never remember his name, Kyle something. I would love to see that.
I agree.
Lady Erin, with the success of the Mario movie being the highest-grossing video game adaptation of all time, what other video games do you think would do good, especially as an animated movie, and why? Ooh, nice pull. I really like Sonic the Hedgehog 2. There's a part of me that still thinks it should have been all animated, but that feels like a cheat because sure, it already exists.
Kirby,
Patrick, most of the games I played were either already existing properties or IPs, or they are very violent. Okay. So they wouldn't. I don't think, off the top of my head, thinking about like the stuff I play, there's nothing really Oh no, I know. Last Guardian. Last
Yes,
Guardian
holy
as an animated
shit.
movie.
Or Shadow of the Colossus. Imagine a Shadow of the Colossus live action film. That would
But
look
I think Shadow of the
stunning if done right.
Colossus is one too long a story for a movie. I think Last Guardian
Yeah.
you can trim that down enough to make a long movie, but a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Shadow of the Colossus feels too dark once you come to the end and realize like everything, and certain aspects, Last Guardian as well. That was the first game to ever make me cry. Not
Mine
as
was
much
The
as Last of
Walking
Us Part
Dead.
2.
Mine was The Walking Dead
Oh,
season 1 when you know what I'm talking about, what scene at the very
I
end.
never played it, but I know exactly what
Oh.
I'm the guy who knows too much about the stuff he doesn't watch or the stuff he doesn't play.
But
So
then not
yeah,
enough about the
no, but
stuff
I
that
know
you do
exactly
watch
what
and
you're talking
play.
about. No, I also know enough about that. I think I don't know. Don't test
Okay.
me.
What about a Crash Bandicoot animated film? Don't do fucking live action. Crash Bandicoot
Ooh,
would literally make me rip my eyeballs out. Still have him be the
yes.
bumbling, idiotic fucking Crash that pulls gems out of his ears and out of his fucking ass crack. But have him do the Crash dance and have
Or
Coco,
Spyro.
Neo Cortex. Give me a Spyro the Dragon and Crash Bandicoot team up movie. I am not fucking shitting you. They
Ooh.
fucked it up with Spyro Orange and what is it? Crash Purple. You know, the GBA
Mhm.
fucking multiplayer
Yeah,
games that you could dock them together. Fucking garbage. But at the same time,
yeah,
they could do it well. They could do because they are rivals technically, Spyro and Crash.
they
And
are.
they
It's
referencing
true.
each other for fucking ever. They have been. Like Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, which came out back in 2020, literally has a Spyro floaty in the first stage of the game. Like,
Yeah.
I think a Spyro, not a Spyro,
Just do
sorry.
it. Do it, PlayStation.
A
Especially
Crash.
like it's a good question that Aaron asked like as an animated movie specifically because
Mm,
Crash as a live action movie would be nightmare fuel. As an animated film, that would be so much fun.
perfect.
So
And
much fun.
you could have the general rules of like squish and squash and hyperbole for the animation
Mhm.
style of Crash, like in the games. Don't have him talk because he doesn't fucking talk. Him talking in Skylanders
Yeah.
doesn't happen. Okay, it never happened. But him still making those weird noises like while he's doing his little
Yeah.
antics, but have Coco, Dingo Dial, what is it, fucking Torna, even if it is the other version of Torna, have Neo Cortex and Genium and all that in it, and have them be the talking
Yeah.
characters that drive the plot along, with Crash doing his idiotic thing and him being the hero still. You can still do that. Just don't have him fucking talk.
Mhm.
Because that's the biggest
Yeah,
thing, that if
that's
you
true.
have him talk, you've lost the Crash character right there. It wouldn't work.
Yeah. Not at all. All right. Lady Aaron, Ren, if you've seen it, what are your thoughts on the final trailer for Zelda Tears of the Kingdom? Have not watched it. I'm not interested.
Don't
Never played
care.
the Zelda game, so I don't watch the trailers.
No, I've
All
played
right.
Ocarina of Time, and that's about it.
All right. Lady Aaron, if you had to choose one song from La La Land that is your favorite, what is it?
None of them.
Not La La Land. La La Land's the movie. Lovely Night. Waste of a Lovely Night. That'd be
None
the
of
one.
them.
Okay, you're out. This is a solo show from now on. Goodbye, Patrick. Lady Aaron, you can only choose one movie from each of these three actors to watch for the rest of your life. Ryan Gosling, Adam Driver, Emma Stone. What's the one movie that you would choose? Again, these are tough, like to come up with on the spot. But
Marriage
Blade
Story
Runner
for Adam
2049
Driver.
for Ryan Gosling. Oh, nice pull. I'm probably gonna go that one for Adam Driver, Blade Runner 2049 for Gosling, and La La Land for Stone. Because I got two Goslings for the price of one.
Okay. Oh, I forgot. Drive is my Ryan Gosling, and then
Oh yeah.
Zombieland for Emma Stone,
Oh,
just
nice
because
pull.
I need me a fucking zombie movie in there that is just lighthearted and fun. It's also,
Nice pull.
funny to see Woody Harrelson get so angry about fucking Twinkies.
Yep. And so happy about fucking Twinkies at one point.
Yep.
Lady Aaron, what are some of your favorite movie scores of all time? Again, list questions are really tough, but 99.9% of Hans Zimmer's scoreography, if that's a word. I just made up a word. John Williams, the forever underrated Alan Silvestri, the forever underrated Michael Giacchino, Justin Hurwitz, obviously.
Soundtrack. The score for Moana is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like, oh man,
it's amazing.
The soundtrack for both Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit trilogies. No matter all the issues the Hobbit has, the soundtrack is perfect.
Yeah.
You know what? The soundtrack, I'm going to go very, very different. Some Like It Hot. The Marilyn Monroe movie from the 1940s.
Nice.
The soundtrack in that is stellar for both the sakes of comedy, timing, and also just fun, entertainment. It is wonderful. If you've never seen Some Like It Hot and you've never heard that score, fucking treat yourself. And of course, I'm going to bring up one we talked about earlier, Your Name. That score is just...
Yeah, I was about to pull it out. Good shout.
I get chills every time I even think about the soundtrack for that movie.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Lady Aaron, do you think the Mario movie is one of the best video game adapted movies that we have gotten,
Yes.
or not?
Yes.
Movies specifically. I mean, Sonic the Hedgehog
Comparatively?
2, I put over it. I think so. Like, it's got to be at least top five, right?
It's not.
Yeah, it's better than Detective Pikachu. It's better than the original Sonic. It's better than Assassin's Creed for sure.
Did you like Detective Pikachu?
No.
Neither did I. Thank God, I'm not the only one.
Yeah. No.
Okay. Good. Good.
Not at all. Not at
what
all.
is it? You've also got the 2021 Mortal Kombat, which was actually all right.
Oh yeah, no, it's not above that. It's not above that for me.
It's not above
Mortal Kombat.
It's
not above the original Mortal Kombat.
No, I'd say it's above the original Mortal Kombat. What is it? The 2018 Alicia Vikander Tomb Raider movie? I don't think it's better than that, but it's easily top.
Nice pull.
It's easily top 5. Like, I've seen a lot of video game movies. I've even seen like House of the Dead 2, which is based on a fucking arcade game, and Dead or Alive, which is literally a fighting game about girls.
You know what it also?
You
know what it also isn't above? And I know this
Street
is
Fighter.
Opinion. Nobody else. Well,
right.
There is the Street Fighter 2 animated movie. I don't think it's above that. But this is going to be an unpopular opinion. Nobody else is going to agree. This is a very unpopular opinion. It's not above the underrated adaptation from 2010, Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time. That movie has a lot of problems. Yes.
It's good. I don't know why people hate it. It's a fun movie. It's not great. As you said, it has a lot of problems, but it's fun.
Jake Gyllenhaal is white. Let's start there. Jake Gyllenhaal is white. But apart from that, the movie is good. I like the movie.
But the Jean-Claude Van Damme and Raul Julia as M. Bison Street Fighter movie, you can't go fucking wrong. Like, there's a new Street Fighter. Of course, the show has started. But, like, seriously, the fact, rest in peace, Raul Julia. Seriously, what a fantastic talent. The fact, though, that the new Street Fighter movie is happening and Raul Julia is not going to be able to play M. Bison, I don't fucking want it.
Fair
Here's
point.
the perfect Bison.
You know who should play him? Dolph Lundgren.
Who?
Dolph Lundgren would be an amazing Bison.
That's actually or as a little thing, bring back Jean-Claude Van Damme, but do it as a role switch and have him be M. Bison instead, because he can be quite insane, and I think that'd be a nice thing for new fans of the games, and fans of the movie, because I love the games and I love the movie.
I like that. I like that a lot,
even though it's silly.
Next question is about the Cannes Film Festival lineup. I do not care. I did not pay attention. Did you pay any attention to this? All right. Thoughts
Indiana
on
Jones?
HBO Max? Oh yeah, I
That's
mean,
about
I
it.
know it's going
Indie.
there. Like, I know the Martin Scorsese one is going there, but like, I didn't pay attention to everything.
Yeah,
So I'm
but
interested in both those movies, but that it doesn't matter if they go to Cannes or not because I'm not going to Cannes.
I'm gonna go see it.
Lady,
I'm gonna go see it anyway.
yeah. I've seen one scene from Indiana Jones though, so
How
there's
is it?
that.
I need to know.
It's really cool. It's a chase scene, so classic Indiana Jones style chase scene. There is more like background CGI than you would want for an Indiana
From an
Jones
indie
film, but I will say like it's probably not finished. They're probably still working on VFX and all that.
Yep.
But
Is it
the
less
stunts are
obnoxious?
there.
Is it less
Much
obnoxious
less
than Crystal Skull in regards to visual effects?
Yeah. Because at least it's consistent. Because they're on a they're chasing someone for something through the streets of Morocco, and it's frenetic. It's got energy. It's got that classic Indiana Jones feel, and
nice.
Phoebe Waller-Bridge is going to fucking crush it. I didn't doubt it.
Oh, I know the scene you're talking about. I know the scene. It's in the trailer, the new one.
Excellent in this.
Yep.
Yeah. The score too by John Williams. I'm like, oh, fuck yes.
Yep.
So yeah, just the scene is great. Not perfect. Not like, yeah, you'll notice that, but maybe in the movie you won't notice it. So yeah.
No.
Thoughts on HBO Max Discovery Plus streaming service officially being called Max? It's stupid. It's dumb. It's another stupid. It's another fucking dumb decision David Zaslav has made. But he's a master of doing these lately.
We don't have Max or whatever you want to fucking call it anymore. We don't have it here. We have Binge.
We don't either. We don't. We have Sky.
I just think we have Binge. I just think it's the dumbest fucking decision. Why the fuck would you go from HBO Max to Max, the home to all things HBO? Shut up. Why?
Yeah. Why would you retire the name HBO? That is so soon. I don't have HBO. I've never had HBO back where I was from. I always known what HBO is. So exactly. I don't get it. Don't get it at all. Lady Aaron, did you guys hear what happened to Jamie Foxx? Yes. I know he's in the hospital, but I honestly did not read too much into it. I've been swamped this week.
I think he suffered a heart attack or a stroke and was taken to hospital. I can't remember which one it was, but it was one of the two. And, prayers are with the family and himself, obviously. Like absolutely. That's because he's still really young, Jamie Foxx. And for him to go through either of those at such a young age, like that's fucked, if you ask me. Like, I feel really bad. It's unfair. It really is. And I hope he's doing okay. I really do.
Absolutely. Our best to Jamie Foxx and obviously his family that needed this time. Lydia, there are some movies from the last 5 years that were box office bombs, also critically divisive, that you think will age better. Again, I would have to have a list, see all these details. There's just so many like variants to pull together to take into consideration. So these are not answers that can properly be answered.
The one that does come to mind, though, is Prince of Persia. That is the one that does come to mind. I think people will look back on the games in years because we haven't. I think one of the problems was we haven't had a new game for Prince of Persia in a long time, and they were literally making that movie based on PS1, PS2 fucking titles. So in 2011, whenever that movie came out, they had a big fucking job right there, considering the game and the movie came out 10 years before everything. Like the movie, the games came out like 10 years before that. So, like, I think it will be appreciated with time, especially if we do get a remake or a new entry in the Prince of Persia series as a video game adaptation.
Yep, that's very true. Lady Aaron, what are some of your favorite movie endings that you have seen in the past 10 years?
Your name.
Taking out the 10 years part, because otherwise it'd be very tough to think about. Every Damien Chazelle movie, that man knows how to end a film at the precisely right time.
I finally saw Babylon.
Oh, nice. And?
It's good. Yes. I love it. It's so good. I don't know what people were thinking. It's such a sporadic and chaotic film, but in the best way possible. And not only that, gorgeous visuals. Damien Chazelle really knows how to fucking direct a film. And the score. How the fuck did it not get nominated? I want to fucking know.
I know, right? What the fuck? What the fuck?
How? It's one of the best
I don't
scores.
get
I'd
it.
actually say it's probably the best score of last year.
Yeah, 1,000%. 1,000%. I
Yeah.
agree. I'm looking at my steelbook right now. My steelbook came in the mail after putting out the Blu-ray and the 4K unboxing.
We're not getting a Blu-ray.
Another great
We're only
movie
getting a
ending.
DVD.
Your Name.
I did say your name, dude.
Yeah.
That ending where they did finally meet and everything. Oh, chills right now. I'm honestly getting chills right fucking now. Even Weathering with You has a great ending.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Spirited Away.
And I like
Holy
Weathering with
crap.
You. Oh, Spirited Away, Princess Mononoke.
My Neighbor Totoro, Ponyo. By the way, did you know Liam Neeson voices Ponyo in the English dub of Ponyo?
Yes. I've never seen it, but I've always known. Okay, that's cool.
That's a cool little detail.
It's really cool. Casablanca, obviously, you have to have Casablanca on there.
Constantine has a great ending as well.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, good pull. Good pull. So yeah, those are just some of ours. Andrew Seif, did you think the Guardians of the Galaxy could, or do you think Guardians of the Galaxy could have a bigger opening weekend than Super Mario Bros. At the box office? So, Super Mario Brothers, the official opening weekend, let me just
368
No, because it opened on a Wednesday. So that's taking in the Wednesday and Thursday. I'm talking about opening weekend, so just counting Friday through Sunday. I believe competition 145 million.
Right, okay.
It's gonna be tight. I think it has a chance, but I'm not comfortable in saying yes, it will beat Super Mario Brothers, but I think it has a shot. I think it's possible.
Is that worldwide or domestic?
Domestic. I'm just talking domestic because worldwide.
Oh, okay. I was talking worldwide.
On this date and there on this. No,
I was talking worldwide opening.
Yeah. Then again, it's a Marvel movie, so it might even open wider than Mario Bros. For all I know. But let's just take like domestic in consideration. Yeah, I'm not willing to bet on it. Yeah.
No, it'll be close though. It'll be close, but I think that I wouldn't say superhero or comic book movie fatigue has set in, because don't get me wrong, a lot of Marvel movies like Black Panther, Wakanda Forever still brought in a lot of money, even though Quantumania brought in not very much, even with a massive opening. That's what I'm looking at, that opening. Quantumania had a massive fucking opening domestically and worldwide as well. Like, it was the highest opening of 2023 until Super Mario Brothers. I think Guardians, especially with the hype, it being the third entry in a trilogy, I know that says nothing, but considering the first two Guardians movies leading into Guardians 3, and how different of a movie they are compared to Ant-Man, which is very, no pun intended, much smaller scaled in comparison to Guardians. I think it has the opportunity and also the potential. The potential to earn as much, if not more, than Super Mario Brothers. But with everything that's been going on with the MCU, the disappointments, the low review scores from both audiences and critics on all fronts, I think it might come off just a little bit shy. I'm not willing to bet on it, as you said. But yeah, just like G Colby P just said in chat as well, what hurt Quantumania, a large portion of that was word of mouth.
Oh, 100%.
And I think Guardians, on the opposite hand, has a good chance of being a very solid film. Like, I am very excited. I'm only excited for Guardians, Deadpool 3, Daredevil Born Again, and the Marvels. That's about it as far as the MCU slate thus far. That's really it. And
all right,
I'm hyped for Guardians.
I hope it's good, man. I hope it's good. Andrew Seif, who do you think would make a good showrunner for the new Harry Potter series? There's the question.
No one.
Too early. Well, since they are going to do it, but the thing is, thinking of a good showrunner is tough because you don't really think of people as a showrunner. You think of them as a writer, as directors. For showrunner, I don't really know, but like just taking from shows I watch, shows I liked, I think whoever, and obviously this person would be busy unless the show gets canceled, but whoever is doing Shadow and Bone has kind of the right sensibilities to do a Harry Potter. And I love Shadow and Bone season 1. I still have not had time to start season 2, sadly. But given what I saw in season 1, given the kind of world and ensemble kind of cast that show inhabits and pulling all of this lore together.
It's all right.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say someone like that. And again, I don't even know. Can you imagine if like the Duffer fucking brothers took on Harry Potter? I don't know how that fits. I just think that'd be fucking interesting.
Who were the showrunners of what is it? The Rings of Power.
Ooh, people who never had written before, clearly. But let me just check. Who are the showrunners? Developed by J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay. Yeah.
I think maybe them could be a good choice because even though it's very clear they've never fucking written a damn thing in their life when it came to the Rings of Power, they've now got experience in the fantasy element. So bringing that to a Harry Potter show when they've already got the source material there for them. Don't get me wrong, Lord of the Rings of Power did as well in expansive novels and everything that predated Lord of the Rings and all that sort of stuff. Like there are a lot of them out there. I own them. They're good books. But they're not as well known, I guess. When it comes to Harry Potter, however, and they're wanting to do like a yearly season, one season is one book in 1 year for these actors, like I think that they could actually do an all right job, especially when they wanted to go beat for beat from the books, apparently. Like beat for fucking beat. So, hey, just write a script based around each different page of the book going forward, and you've got yourself a script. There you go. Fuck off. But no, the thing is they've got the script right there at the fucking palm of their hand. And for the most part, everything else in regards to being showrunners, they did a damn good job. It's just the writing department that they sort of just went, nah.
Yeah. Andrew Seif also asked thoughts on the Marvels trailer. We talked about that. Andrew Seif also asked, do you guys think the Guardians 3 marketing... Do you guys think that the Guardians 3 marketing not really telling the audience what the movie is about will hurt the box office results for the film? I am the wrong person to ask because, like you guys know, I only watch teaser trailers. If the teaser trailer gives me enough of what I hope to see and I've seen enough, I don't watch any more trailers because I don't want to see anything else about the movie until I see the actual movie. I got a pretty good gist of what is going on from the teaser trailer, but I don't know if the official trailer has gone in a completely different direction. But Patrick, what do you think? What's the impression you've been getting? And do you think it could hurt the box office?
Don't get me wrong, they're being very vague with the trailers. But as you said, they are giving us the gist of things. And I think them keeping it vague is actually going to be the biggest selling point and the thing that gets people in the theater when it comes to Guardians 3, because people won't want to wait till Twitter or YouTube videos to be like, what the fuck happens in this movie? Who dies? Does Star-Lord die? Does Rocket die? Does Nebula die? Does fucking the new version of Gamora die? Does Drax die? Because it's been confirmed that one of the members is dying in this movie. We know this.
It's Rocket.
I'm calling it now. It's Rocket as well. But at the same time, like people won't want to wait to know that. They will want to go to the theater opening weekend to find out. But how secretive they're being is going to be the biggest selling point to get people in those seats at those theaters. I went very Aussie just saying those theaters, mate.
This theaters, mate. All right,
crikey. But no, I think actually being secretive and very vague with the trailers is actually going to be its biggest selling point. And I think the Marvels will do the same thing with Near DaCosta's The Marvels.
Yeah, that's true. By the way, we got a good shout. Chris Smith in the live chat. The Game of Thrones showrunners, like in terms of adaptation, and I know a lot
Yeah.
of people are like, "Oh, they ruined Game of Thrones." No, 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 no. I
No, they
like season
did.
8. If you want to say season 8 was bad, sure, season 8 was bad. They had 7 excellent series before that. The same people who say
Hmm.
season 8 is bad are the same people who love the previous 7 seasons. So I just want to balance the
It's the
scales
weakest
a bit.
season,
Let's
but
not
it's
just
not
rely.
bad.
Yeah. No, 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 no.
And not only
I
that,
agree. Like, good shout.
the first 3 episodes of season 8 are fucking phenomenal. The Battle for Winterfell was everything we wanted it to be.
Oh, that episode before the battle where everyone is literally, it's an entire episode of people accepting that they're about to die,
Mm-hmm.
and it's one of the best
Exactly.
episodes of the entire show. Top 5, easy,
It's
easy.
easily top 5. I was about to say.
With Florence and the Machines, Jenny of Old Stones
Mhm.
playing. I love that song. I love that episode.
And then
It's so good.
even episode 5 where the Hound fought the Mountain.
Oh, love that fight. Love
Great
that
fight. Each following
Yeah.
episode 4, 5, and 6, were not good episodes, but they had great moments. Like great
Yeah.
moments. Each and every single fucking one of them. Season 8 is not a bad season. It's just a disappointing one. That's all it is.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. As you see, what are your thoughts on Super Mario Brothers making amazing box office and already making over $500 million worth?
Mhm.
$5 million wouldn't be impressive. $500 million
That's what
worldwide.
Renfield's on track for.
Which I'm going to watch after this. That's why we're ending the show in about 4 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm impressed, man, and I'm
Lucky
gonna
fuck.
eat my words. I kept saying I don't know that it quite reaches 1 billion. It's gonna reach 1 billion.
It's
I don't know if by the end of this week, but by the halfway through the week after or something, it should be there.
it'll likely be there
Yeah.
by like mid next week. About this point next week, I reckon it'll be there.
Yeah.
Because hasn't
It's impressive.
It's because it's still got China, Japan, and Poland to release in too. 3 of Mario's biggest.
Oh, does it
markets.
have Japan too? I thought it released in
28.
Japan and still had China. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Doesn't release until April
It
28th.
might-
This movie's it might reach
Okay.
1.5 billion if I'm being honest.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's gonna get to 1.5 for sure. For sure.
Yeah, and a sequel's
Um,
apparently already in the works.
Surprise, surprise. Illumination. Lady Aaron, how are you feeling, Patrick? It's good to see you again. I hope you're doing well and feeling much better.
Doing better than I was about a month or so ago. Yeah.
That's what matters. We're looking bright on the other side. Jigo EP, thoughts on Mia Goth joining the cast of Blade, and with her casting and background in horror, do you think we might get a sense for a more darker and gritty tone with a pinch of humor similar to Blade 1 and 2?
Mhm.
I don't think her casting is what tells us that, but I think, yes, that's kind of what we're looking. Not as dark, not the same kind of humor, but I think that's going to be the balance.
Yes.
And if the rumor about what she's cast as is true, great casting. Honestly,
Yep.
As someone
I'm
who
excited.
likes X, as someone who likes X, didn't care for Pearl, but loves her in both, great fit. I think.
I've loved her
100%.
since A Cure for Wellness. I'm sorry, she's been underrated
great in it.
since A Cure for Wellness. Like, what a great film! I love that film.
Yeah, I agree. We got this. Lady Aaron, with the huge amount of praise that the final season of Succession is getting, especially with one recent episode being hailed as one of the greatest episodes in TV history, what are some of the best episodes that you have ever witnessed from a TV show, and why? Again, I can quote you The Last of Us, but that's it, because I just seen The Last of Us. I can quote you episode 7 of The Mandalorian, because I've just seen it. Like, I don't have a back catalog immediately available in my head of everything I ever watched. So it's just tough.
I'm going to bring 2 examples of 2 completely different genres.
Go for it.
One of them's a sitcom that I'm fully aware that a lot of people fucking hate, but I love. And the other one is an animated TV show from Star Wars. Star Wars Rebels, the episode where Kanan sacrifices himself to save everyone else on the day.
Season 4, yeah.
Season 4, I think, what was it? It was near the later portion of season 4. I can't remember.
It's like episode 7 or 8.
Yeah.
It's something like that.
The perfect episode, Kanan comes to fruition. Ezra realizes how much everyone means to him. Hera just, I don't want to know what she felt in that moment. I genuinely don't want to know. But Kanan sacrificed one of the most beautiful moments in anything animated Star Wars ever. The other episode I'm talking about is the very last episode ever of The Big Bang Theory. Now, hear me out. I like The Big Bang Theory. But after 12 seasons, Sheldon and Amy getting their Nobel Prizes, but Sheldon acknowledging how much of a two-faced, self-centered prick he can be, and dedicating his entire speech, not to his entire life, but him asking all of his friends, his family, to stand up and thanks them all for everything. Acknowledges, because at one point in the episode, he was a selfish, self-centered jerk and didn't acknowledge that Penny and Leonard were having a child and didn't want them to ruin his big day getting the Nobel Prize. He acknowledges it and says he understands he can be a handful, but he is thankful for every one of them and that they're the only reason he is where he is today. After 12 seasons, it is revealed that this isn't just the crew's show. This is Sheldon's show, where this is the episode where you realize how much he has grown, how much he understands himself as well as his friends and his wife so much better, and understands the burden he is on others, where at the beginning of the series, he had no fucking idea. He didn't care. He didn't care to know. But what the impact on everyone else has done on him. I think it is a beautiful episode where Jim Parsons in particular gives a stellar performance as Sheldon Cooper. I'm sorry. I like Big Bang Theory, and I think the final episode of Big Bang Theory is one of the best sitcom episodes ever.
All right. I'm going to do the same as you as we finish the show because it just feels like a good question to end on. Gico P, Luis Feliciano, Nathan Madigan, save your questions and then just resubmit them not next week because I work next Saturday. So keep them on doc 2 weeks from now. For me, I'm going to kind of pull the same trick as you. Star Wars Rebel, the season 2 finale with Ahsoka versus Vader and all that comes with it. Like, it's the best episode of Rebels ever for me. And then I don't remember the exact number, but I think, it might be 7 or 8 or maybe 10, something like that. In season 8 of How I Met Your Mother. It's the episode where Ted talks to future Ted and to future Barney. And then there's a whole reveal at the end and it just hits you in the gut. And it's beautiful. So it's called The Time Travelers.
Oh, okay. Did you ever see MASH, by the way, really quickly?
No. I know exactly what it is, but I've never seen it.
The final episode of MASH is one of the most heartbreaking and beautiful fucking.
The one with the chicken and all. I have heard many stories about that. That's the one, and then what it actually is. Yeah.
The Mackie goes fucking. What is it? Blind fucking.
Yeah.
Makes me sad.
All right. All right, everyone. That's going to do it this week for This Week in Geek. Unfortunately, next week I'm being put to work on a Saturday. I wish I could do the show, really, but 2 weeks from now, we will see each other. Thank you to Patrick for joining me very last minute. I made him wake up earlier, 1 hour earlier than it was supposed to. Stay tuned for reviews for Suzume, for Renfield. And this week, I don't know of anything that comes. Like, the big release this week is Evil Dead Rise, which there's a review already up on the channel. So stay tuned for the Mandalorian Season 3 review. I'll review that. And that is all. Until the next one, love each other and love the movies.